My name is Duddits, I do builds and stuff, and today I've got a video about ultimate survivability on a Strand Hunter. We are going to be featuring two exotics that have some quirky combos, Cyrtachnes Facade and the Buried Bloodline. These actually combine to do some really unique things, like adding weakening to your Whirling Maelstrom, and we can extend Devour with Buried Bloodline and the Whirling Maelstrom as well. So we're going to be able to apply weakening to the Whirling Maelstrom and extend Devour, and plus we're going to have Woven Mail and Devour that is going to enable us to face tank enemies with a sword in GMs and ultimate survivability. Stay with me, I'm going to break it all down. The first part of the build is going to be based around the exotic helmet, the Cyrtachnes Facade. Gain Woven Mail when you activate your grapple. It also increases flinch resistance while Woven Mail is active. So pretty easy, use your grapple, get Woven Mail. But we'll compare it with the new exotic Sidearm, Buried Bloodline. It's void, it's got the perk on there. Double fires tracking bolts, landing bolts, leeches health from the target. Violent reanimation, multiple final blows with this weapon. Grant Devour to the wielder. So we can add Devour to the Cyrtachnes Facade. But it also has the Buried Bloodline catalyst on here. While Devour is active, this weapon also weakens on hit. So with these two exotics, we're going to get Woven Mail basically anytime we want, and Devour basically anytime we want. So this is like a little breakdown what you can do. You'll see there I got a couple of kills with the Buried Bloodline, activated my Devour, and then on top of that we're going to be adding some Strand Goodness like suspending as well. So just so a little sort of like feature what you can see here, got my Woven Mail going, I've got Devour going, and you're pretty safe. Now we can add a couple of aspects for really good Strand Goodness. Ensnaring Slam, activate your air move to consume your class ability energy and dive to the ground, suspending all nearby targets on impact. Using this ability extends class ability cooldown time, but don't worry about that. Whirling Maelstrom is the other aspect. Destroy a tangle will leave a violent writhing mass of strand fibers. The strand mass seeks out and damages targets, emitting unraveling projectiles when it defeats them. So again, I'm just going to sort of show you this sort of broke down a little bit. Easy to get Devour with the Buried Bloodline. You've got that Devour active pretty easily. And then all we've got to do then is just use our grapple to gain Woven Mail. We've got Devour going, Woven Mail. We've got the Ensnaring Slam to suspend anything near that target. And again, you've got really nice survivability with this setup. And because you defeated anything that's suspended, it is going to create a Whirling Maelstrom pretty easily. And again, just for sort of capturing plates, things like that. GM's survivability is really good, pretty easy, got that Devour going, and again you can literally go ham. You can suspend things at will. Safety, Woven Mail's pretty strong anyway, but you got that Devour going on top of that, and you are an absolute unit. And while being able to be an absolute unit in really helpful in GMs, you are causing some serious ad clearing capabilities with your Whirling Maelstrom and all your other abilities. Really good, just suspending things on the fly. And again, I will probably say this a few times, just absolute ultimate survivability. You can also proc your Devour from your Ensnaring Slam like so. I just want to focus a little bit on the Whirling Maelstrom because this thing is an absolute monster. This little writhing mass of tangle fibers is just literally insane. It's probably one of the best aspects in the game, which you can use in multiple ways. You can throw it to a tanky target like so, while using other abilities and other weapons to do extra damage, or you can just use it for ad clearing as well. But the Whirling Maelstrom is one of the absolute best aspects in the game. It is so strong, and once again you've got that Devour going to extend that as well. And I've also got something else to show you how the Whirling Maelstrom does actually extend the Devour from the Buried Bloodline. Really good. The next couple of clips are all going to be about the synergy between the Whirling Maelstrom and the Buried Bloodline and Devour. You'll see here I've got my Devour for 7 seconds, which means I can weaken that target. That's the catalyst from the Buried Bloodline. So I'm adding weakening to that target, which is obviously good for yourself and your teammates, but it's also really good for your Whirling Maelstrom as well, just for a bit of extra damage. That Whirling Maelstrom you'll see there, just applied the weakening to the boss in this GM strike, and that cry. The Whirling Maelstrom is doing a bit of extra damage, but again, this Whirling Maelstrom is an absolute really strong aspect in the game, And when you're pairing it with the Buried Bloodline, just being able to extend your Devour, which I've got a clip to show you with that as well, and adding weakening to targets, it's just a really cool, quirky combo that works really nice, and it's pretty easy to do. Now, I've focused on this clip because I want to show you how it extends your Devour as well from your Buried Bloodline. And bear in mind, when your Devour is active, you're getting loads of grenade cooldown as well. But you'll just look at there, I've got a Devour for 7 seconds. I'm going to shoot this here, and you'll see my Devour go up. That is the Whirling Maelstrom extending that Devour. So we've got our Whirling Maelstrom that is able to weaken as well with the Buried Bloodline, and we can extend Devour with it. Now tell me guys, is that pretty cool or is that pretty cool? I found that really interesting, and it also again adds to the survivability of this build, so you really can get up close. And again with that Buried Bloodline, look how easy it is to proc that Devour, even if you're just using it at a distance, just to get that Devour going. The ultimate survivability again is really good. It does enable you to get up close and personal, get that Devour going, extend it with other weapons. Other weapons, by meaning swords, I really like running this thin precipice. It's an absolute beast of a sword, and once you've got the Devour and the Woven Mail behind you, unrelenting and chain reaction on this thing just extends your Devour even further. Plus, you're getting all that grenade energy back for your grapple as well, so you can keep literally spamming your Woven Mail grapple as well, getting your healing and grenade energy back, enabling you to get up close and face tank. And because you're suspending things, you will often find that you will easily pick up one of these Whirling Maelstroms, 2 or 3 at a time sometimes. Then you can apply that weakening with your Buried Bloodline for even more damage, extend your Devour. Guys, this build is an absolute monster. It is so good. Loads and loads of little synergies going on all over the place, creating Whirling Maelstroms everywhere, suspending everything. The whole build just seems to fit perfectly together. And like I said, a couple of little synergies in there that really make this build stand out. The only thing I've got to do now is show you the rest of my build, so bear with me. So aspects which we have already touched on, but we'll just quickly go over them. Egg Snaring Slam and Whirling Maelstrom, they're the 2 aspects I use. For your grenade, you obviously want to be using your grapple grenade. For your Cyrtachnes Facade, that's going to enable you to get your Woven Mail. And then on top of that, I like to run Gambler's Dodge. Every time you dodge near an enemy, it's going to recharge your melee ability. Now the fragments, I did try quite a few different fragments, but Thread of Generation is just too good. Dealing damage generates grenade energy. We are also running Thread of Mind. Defeating suspended targets grants class ability energy, so you can get more ensnaring slams going. I also like to run Thread of Continuity. Suspend, Unravel and Sever effects have an increased duration. And then Thread of Transmutation. While Woven Mail is active, weapon final blows create a tangle. So obviously with that one, we're not actually being able to run the Widow's Silk. This is the one that gives you an additional grapple grenade, but I did build my mods around this so we can easily supplement this with my mod setup. So what I like to do on my mods is I like to run Reaper. Shortly after using your class ability, your next weapon final blow spawns an Orb of Power. I also like to run Double Bomber. Every time you use your class ability, you gain grenade energy, which helps towards your grapple cooldown. On my legs, I like to run Stacks on Stacks. Picking up an Orb of Power gives me an additional armor charge, so you're going to get 2 armor charges every time you pick up an orb. I also like to run Innovation, reduces grenade cooldown each time you pick up an Orb of Power. And then Void Scavenger for my Buried Bloodline. I find this one really helps with the ammo. Now your chest piece is basically up to you, whatever activity you're running at the time. I like to run Concussive Dampener and 2 Void Resistance because I was running Birthplace of the Vile, and it's a lot of void damage in there, but you can mix and match these up. Now I run Stacks on Stacks basically for grenade kickstart, which really helps again with your grapple cooldown. When your grenade energy is fully expended, your armor charge is consumed and you gain grenade energy for each armor charge consumed. I also like to run a couple of melee mods. Focusing Strike grants class ability when you cause damage with a powered melee attack. And then I also like to run Impact Induction, causes damage with a powered melee attack, also reduces your grenade cooldown. On my helmet, this one's pretty easy. Void Siphon for Buried Bloodline, so we can create loads of orbs via Void Weapon Kills, and then Special Ammo Finder. And I also like to run a Special Ammo Scout for my teammates. But that is the build. I hope you found this helpful. Really cool synergies going on all over the build as well. So let me know what you think of this video. I will leave a dim link in the video description. Like I said, I hope you found it helpful. I hope you all have an excellent weekend.